Hi there, this is the AdvantEdge podcast. We're hacking the art and neuroscience of expert leadership so that you can unstuck your true potential in life and work. I'm Dr. John Kay, I'm your host, and welcome to this episode. Hi there, this is John Kay, and welcome to this edition of the AdvantEdge podcast. Wise leaders know how to fix these three things before expecting trust and collaboration in their team. This year has taught us all a lot. We've learned that Zoom's mute button can be a best friend or worst enemy. Toilet paper is more precious than gold, and no matter how independent we think we are, as Dr. John C. Maxwell tells us, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. We need to work in teams, and if we don't promote true collaboration, we undermine our potential and erode the best efforts of the people with whom we work. If we want to accomplish anything significant, we must learn how to build trust and effect collaboration. Purpose of this edition is that trust has flatlined in recent months, thanks largely to the lack of physical interaction. Plus the small detail that this pandemic has massively damaged the global economy, threatening jobs and business survival. And without trust, there's no chance of collaboration, in spite of all the wonderful tools to support it. Even though we need to do so now more than ever, if we are to rebuild our businesses, the economy, and lives. In this edition, we'll consider why our brains have decided not to trust others and what leaders can do to rebuild the essential foundations that make trust and hence collaboration truly possible. In the next edition, we'll build on these foundations and we'll learn how to leverage the 4 collaboration styles in the team. And in the third of this series, we'll be asking if your technical excellence is holding you back. What's the payoff? By understanding what is happening in the brain, leaders can deliberately rebuild the essential foundations of safety, belonging, and mattering that every human being craves unconsciously before they are able to trust others and begin the needed collaborative partnerships that will set you on the road to recovery and the ability to thrive in the future. Getting team members to trust each other and collaborate is difficult enough when we work in the same space together. When the team are scattered across the globe and we communicate through the interweb, it creates an even bigger demand on team leaders to make it work. As I've shared in several recent editions of the Leadership AdvantEdge, trust has essentially flatlined in 2020. In large part, it's because the virtual world debilitates our mirror neurons and hence our empathy takes a holiday. Of course, it's the only part of us that is taking a holiday, but our empathy has gone. I miss the signals of your body language, either because I can't see them or the delay makes them incongruous. This amps up my stress hormones, and your vocal inflection is flattened by the audio compression, so I can't quite tell if you were serious in what I heard as a curt response. And I cannot see your hands, let alone reach out and shake yours firmly and assure your frightened, unconscious critter brain that I'm not carrying a weapon, and no, I do not intend to eat you for lunch. And you say, don't be daft, John. Of course I don't think you're going to eat me for lunch. And that's exactly the problem. You don't think it, because it's not a conscious process. But your critter brain is continuously verifying the data, and that's simply exhausting. Working in the virtual world is more stressful. It's filled with massive miscommunication potential. It's flat, boring, frightening, and exhausting. And there's more. We've all lost a sense of control. We have no idea when or even if this is going to end. And we can't do half the things we want to. Everyone is concerned for their job security, health, family, bill payments, and the list goes on. But wait, there is some good news, and it's not the untested vaccine, which may or may not have a chip inside, that is going to give Bill Gates total control over your life. The good news is that leaders can rebuild the trust and collaboration needed to not just survive, but to thrive. And that leader is you. Whether you have the job title matters not a jot. Leadership is a choice you make. It's not a position you sit. And all we have to do is fix 3 things to rebuild the foundations that make trust and collaboration possible. Let's look at the cultural foundations of safety, belonging, and mattering that make trust and collaboration possible. Every human being, and I mean every single one, craves 3 things. We all want to feel safe, to feel that we belong to a tribe or a group, and we want to know that we matter in this world. The wise leader knows that these 3 have to be fixed before they can expect team members to trust one another, let alone collaborate. For me to trust you in my team, I have to feel safe with you and that we're on the same team. And you need to feel safe with me, that we're in this together in the same team. And we both need to know that what we are doing individually and together actually matters. Remember that your brain's primary job is to keep you in the not dead state. You have to take care of your physiological needs, food, shelter, water, reproduction, and then your brain is free to focus on your 3 primal drivers. Am I safe? Do I belong? And do I matter? And since we crave these 3 things, safety, belonging, and mattering, trust and collaboration cannot happen until I know for sure that I am safe, that I belong, and that I matter. Trust has been seriously eroded in the virtual world, but as humans we have a secret weapon, our smart brain. My feeling less than safe is because my critter brain is getting flooded with stress chemicals, mostly cortisol or norepinephrine or adrenaline. It's a pretty constant state of low-level stress induced by the environment, the concerns about the outside world, and the paucity of appropriate feedback in the virtual world. I've also recorded a short little podcast on trust in uncertain times. It describes the neuroscience of trust, how fickle trust is for the human brain, and it'll be worth listening to. There are 3 ways that leaders can help rebuild the feeling of safety, belonging, and mattering. And you do so by over-communicating it. Step 1. Honest and truthful communication about the future being a safe and a better place. not hiding pertinent information or glossing over real concerns. Address those concerns openly and candidly, always focused on what you as a team can and will do about it. If your future is not going to be a safe or better place, you should be candid and honest and clear about what the future holds. Everybody already knows that you don't know for sure, and misleading people now will lose their trust forever. But maybe, just maybe, one or more of your team might think of a pivot strategy and turn certain doom into possibility and hope. And if I can't have a better and safe for sure, I'll take hope for a better future any day. The second part is to increase the sense of belonging by bringing people together and making sure that everybody, every single person is included by name. Using names matters in the real world and more so in the virtual world. And if you don't know their name, stop hemming and avoiding it. Ask them. Admit you were an idiot for not knowing and correct the situation. You start with communicating safety, then you communicate the sense of belonging. Thirdly, you're recognizing individuals, again by name, and specifically what they have done and how that helps towards the goal and purpose. This will improve their belief that they matter and what they do matters. What if you don't know something specific? Well, observe them and make a note. If it's too late, ask them what have they specifically done that deserves recognition. It's nothing like as powerful, but it will do in the interim. It's over-communicating the safety aspect, the future, and if you don't have a certain future, create a hope for a better future. The sense of belonging and the recognition of specific things individuals have done. Remember, by name. Now remember, these are feelings or beliefs that are triggered in large part by a reduction of cortisol and adrenaline and an increase in dopamine, serotonin and oxytocin. Go back to that Trust in Uncertain Times for more details on this. And these three areas are influenced by your communication. And if your situation is particularly fraught with anxiety, then practice and teach the astonishing power of the pause with the deep breathing exercises to reduce cortisol. It will work. As you strive to make your environment, your workplace, a safe environment, communicate openly, candidly, and truthfully about the situation that you're facing. Rebuild the sense of safety, belonging, and mattering, and then, and only then, can we start to rebuild the trust and create the collaboration that will enable you to thrive going forward. Thanks for listening to this edition of the AdvantEdge podcast. I've been your host, Dr. John Kay. Do get in touch at leadershipadvantedge.com. Bye for now and be greatly blessed.